guys, welcome back to another day in my life. Another day in my life in France, guys. Anyway, I haven't shown you France, Paris, whatever. That's because you guys know I've been sick. Okay, I've been sick and I've been feeling better. You guys can see me. I'm wearing colors. I'm outside. I'm feeling way better, guys. But let me go ahead and explain what had happened because it was bad. It was so bad. And I know many people had questions on my Instagram because I also talked about that, the fact that I wasn't feeling well and I went to the emergency care. So basically I spent 13 days, almost 2 weeks, just like feeling like crap. So let me go ahead and explain. Hopefully the car driving, because I'm sitting outside, there are car driving. Okay, so I'm sitting outside, there are cars driving up and down, so hopefully the noise is not going to be much. But let me go ahead and explain what had happened. It had nothing to do with the fact that I had IBS. I know many people know I have this condition called IBS. It wasn't that, guys. It wasn't that, okay? So if you guys watch my vacation vlog in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, then you guys know I had so much fun. I had so much fun, guys, and I was so excited. But anyway, let me tell you what happened after I came back to Houston. I had 4 days to pack up and leave the US to come to France. So I was pretty busy. So when I came back from my vacation, guess what? I started noticing that something changed, okay? Something down there, the women. So if you guys know what is called UTI, go ahead and Google that because I'm not going to give you more description than that. UTI is one of those things that women get often. So I started noticing that there was like a burning sensation when I would go to the bathroom. When I would pee and things like that. And I was like, uh-oh. This was like after I came back from vacation. I was like, what is this? And keep in mind that I'm somebody that I hate any type of infections, okay? So I think day 2 after I came back, it started getting worse. And I was just like, okay, I don't think I'm going to be able to like manage this thing now, because in order for me to see a doctor, it would have been a process. In order for me to get prescription on antibiotics, the ones that I have to take and all of these things, it was just going to be hell. Because the 4 days that I had in Houston, in Texas, I was already swamped. I was already busy because I had to wrap up everything. Because guys, I'm not going back to the US anytime soon. Maybe next year or something like that. I don't know. So I was like, let me just wrap up everything and do the best that I can. And maybe when I get to France, I'll be able to see a doctor and get antibiotics. Guys, 2 days before, I think it was 2 days, no, the day before I left. So I left on a Saturday, okay? I traveled on a Saturday. On Friday, the burning sensation was worse. Women, if you know, you know. And the color of my pee, this is GMI, so if you don't want to listen, don't listen. The color of my pee was like yellow, as in this jacket that I'm wearing. It was just yellow. It was bad. I was like, okay, something is going on. That same night, I had fever. I just had some type of fever. I was like, okay, it's not cold in Houston, but I'm feeling super cold. And I couldn't even sleep because my back was hurting. And I was like, okay. And I thought my back was hurting because I've been going up and down. I've been busy. I've been on the go. But guys, it was something else. So the day I was traveling was probably the worst day. Like, I've never traveled being this sick. You guys saw me on the last vlog when I was traveling and I looked like I was okay. I wasn't okay. Sometimes guys, you don't have to look like your sickness. That day, if you guys watch the vlog, I was wearing like a pink shirt with like a little sweater on top, blue sweater. Like I was sick. I was sick, but I made it a point that day to look okay because I wanted to look pretty that day, okay? So I flew, on the flight from Texas to Paris, I felt like I was dying. I did not sleep on that flight. I was sick, guys. I was sick. I had fever. I think the people even sitting next to me were kind of concerned because the lady kept on looking at me, but she didn't say anything. So I was really sick. By the time I got here on Sunday, my siblings came to pick me up at the airport. My brother-in-law actually pick me up at the airport. And I called my mom, and she was like, "You should go to the emergency room if you're not feeling well." And I was so tired. Keep in mind that I haven't slept, okay? I did not sleep much during those 4 days when I came back from vacation. And then on the plane, I really didn't sleep. So I was exhausted. And I just told myself that I just needed some sleep. So I didn't want to go to the emergency care and whatever. I was like, yeah, I just needed some sleep. So I slept. But guess what? The next day on Monday, I could not walk. It was that bad, guys. Like, I'm laughing now, and you guys can see me. I'm smiling, I'm wearing makeup, I'm looking like something. It was bad. It was bad to the point where I thought I was dying. Like, I just thought, this is not an infection, this is worse than an infection. My hips, my kidney, I mean, do we say kidney, les reins? My hips area, like the back, was hurting like crazy. I couldn't walk up the stairs. I couldn't even walk faster. Like, I remember my brother-in-law and my sister took me to the hospital the next day, and we just went straight to the emergency care. Like, there was no way I was gonna wait. Now there's something, every time the cars are driving, I'm like, I don't know if you guys can hear me, but in France though, whenever you go to emergency care, this is another story, okay? People take their time. I waited 4 hours. 4 hours. Like, I like the medical system, the healthcare system, and everything in it. Guys, I went to emergency. Like, you would think, like, I couldn't even sit on the chair because I had so much pain on my back that I felt like I just wanted to lay down. And I waited 4 hours for these people, for these people to have me admitted. Like, it was that bad. And I was just there dying. And the thing is that when you have UTI, you have to pee almost every 15 to 30 minutes. So you can just imagine how bad. And every time you pee, I know this is TMI, but like I told you, don't want to listen, just get out. But every time you pee, there's this burning sensation, and it was just getting worse by the hour. And I had fever, and I had back pain, and I like, for me, it wasn't, I've never gotten this type of UTI, and I felt like I had something worse until I saw a doctor. Eventually, after 4 hours, I saw a doctor, and I remember the doctor told me, do you experience GIS, ABC? I mean, she basically told me all the symptoms, and I was like, yes, 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 yes. And then she goes, oh, you have a really bad type of infection, like it's UTI. You have urinary tract infection, but it's the worst case because it actually went up your kidney. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, right? And she said, so they put me on IV, straight up. They put me on IV. I don't know what type of solutions, what type of medication they put me on, but they put me on several IV. I think it was like 3 of them. And I was exhausted. I didn't even have the energy to get up off the bed, like, after that. And I remember when I was sleeping, because guys, I was like clueless. I didn't have any energy. So when I was sleeping, at some point I could hear the doctor say, oh, she's not going to be able to get up. We need to give her something to boost her up, to boost her energy up. So that's how I ended up, like, getting up that day. And then she told me that I have to, because I don't know, they didn't want me to sleep there because they felt like it wasn't, and thank God I didn't really sleep there because the bills, and I don't have insurance here. The bills were going to be crazy. So anyway, so she sent me home, and she said, you have to come back tomorrow. Same place, right? Same hospital, emergency care. You have to come back tomorrow. And the next day I went back in, because if you saw me, oh, I was looking like, anyway, I think I have a footage because I was, this is me trying to vlog, but not being able to vlog. Can you imagine? On day 2, I think I have a picture that my brother-in-law and my sister took of me, but that picture, I mean, they were just trying to take pictures of me and things like that. I was like, no, I'm not in the mood. So basically, I have a little footage on day 2. This is day 2 at the hospital. I'm not feeling well, as you guys can see. Apparently, My fever is not going down. I'm so exhausted. So you guys can see I wasn't looking like this. I was like, oh my god, I was looking so bad and feeling worse than what I look like. Okay, so I went to the emergency care for 3 days. They wanted to make sure that my blood was clean, because when they did the blood test, they realized that I had the infection. It was that bad. That's why they couldn't just they couldn't just prescribe me antibiotics for me to go home with. They felt like they needed to give me antibiotics through IV. So the way the doctor explained it to me is that they have to clean my blood because the infection got in so far that it's not good. So they had to make sure that I didn't have anything on my kidney and I didn't have any kidney failure. So I think that was the main concern on that day. I mean, on those days, those 3 days that I went to the emergency care. So I went on emergency care for 3 days. They put me on several IVs during those 3 days. I couldn't even eat. One other thing, I could not eat. Like, chewing food was so much energy that I was just drinking yogurt. I was drinking soup. I couldn't even eat like vegetable. You would think like soft vegetable, like steamed broccoli. I couldn't eat that. So I was just on liquid diet, soup, yogurts, anything creamy, really, anything liquidy. So it happened for, I think I was on a liquid diet for maybe like 5, 6, I mean like a week, basically a week. I was on a liquid diet. So that was basically how I got into the that's basically how I got into France. And I had so many plans. I had plans because you guys know a bunch of my family lives here. So I had plans that we're going to go to the south of France. I was going to do ABCG. I was going to visit all my siblings, because I have many siblings here. And yeah, I spent the whole week just being in bed and doing nothing but going to hospitals. So after 3 days, they basically prescribed me antibiotics that I was taking for 10 days. So I took it for 10 days, and they also gave me some fever medication for pain, because my body was just aching, like everything was aching. I still went back to the hospital for follow-ups. So I ended up going to hospital for follow-up. I did an ultrasound of my kidney because they wanted to make sure that the infection was out, everything was out after the treatment. I also did another blood test, a urine test, and all of these things, and everything came out normal. So whew, I'm happy. I'm happy that I'm in a better position. So yeah, I'm feeling better now. I know you guys had questions, and you guys thought it was, I don't know. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to give you some updates and let you know that I'm doing good, feeling better. Let me know, women, because I feel like women will always have those type of infections. Let me know if you've had this type of really bad infections. I don't have much time in France at the moment, but when I came here originally, I had 3 weeks that I was going to spend here. But I ended up spending 2 weeks sick. There are so many things that you can plan, but at the end of the day, life is going to decide otherwise. And I'm really happy that I was in France. I'm happy that I didn't just go straight from the US to Cameroon, because I don't know how they were going to be able to treat this type of UTI, because I've never had this type of UTI that gives you fever and yeah, and like back pain and all of these things. And I didn't even know that it can go up to your kidney, which is, anyway, I digress. I'm good. So you guys wanted to know, now you know. I have so many footage of my stay here since I started feeling better. Okay, I've been going on birthday parties. My youngest sister celebrated her birthday, so I'm gonna show you that in the next vlog. And I also met friends. Guys, I went around. I made sure that the last week that I had here was productive, because that was the goal. The goal was that I was gonna live my best life. Today's a beautiful day. Look at that. Beautiful day. Okay, that's why I'm wearing yellow, because at this point I was like, you know what, I want to be looking good. I don't want to look like I'm sick. Oh, I have a friend of mine, he was like, sickness does not suit you. I was like, I agree, doesn't suit me. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. I'm waiting for my sister, and yeah, and we'll talk later. And you guys should watch the next vlog, because it's going to show you a little bit of what I did here in Paris. I'm actually staying at I'm staying at many of my sisters. I have many siblings here, so whenever I come here, I have many places that I can stay at. And yeah, so I will show you the footage and we'll talk. So bye.